some of them start making you paranoid, where they'll be like, oh, so-and-so, I think so-and-so is an operative, you better watch out for that guy. And then the other person's like, yeah, you better watch out for that guy. And so now they're getting you sort of in a paranoid state. Then they start, grooming. They're basically grooming, a lot of times through fear, but they'll start to groom you because they need to take their subject and have their subject go into a specific direction. So one person will start leading that grooming process, and what happens is the supporting actors know about the grooming process, and they start to support that grooming collectively. All of them start reinforcing the groomer's direction, so that it feels and seems like it's all accurate and legitimate, and it all connects together, so it all resonates and it all makes sense. So you've got people calling you, you've got emails, you've got all kinds of things happening where they're all validating each other. They're validating the information that some of them are giving to you. And then they will even run little mini operations in order to prove to you that they know what they're talking about, or they get good intel, and, they're the right people to follow and to listen to because they know more. And, or they have very strong relationships with this guy and that guy, much like, David Straight or even Juan saying that they're close to Trump. So they use and sidle up against other people to give themselves credibility. Agent Margaritaville and Agent A1 are famous for that over there. They're famous for using Field McConnell, all right? Just like Paula using Field McConnell. They're all using Field McConnell because he's gagged up, right? So what they do is they sidle up beside him, and that's what Butterfly is doing right now. Butterfly Mama couldn't have cared less about who Field McConnell was all this time, and all of a sudden, Field is her hero and blah, 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 right? So, these are psychological operations, okay? I heard someone say, yeah, but Juan told us this would happen. Juan told us that they had to infiltrate, right? And it's a good perspective and it's a good story, but that's also a psychological operation if Juan's an operative, because Juan knew the day would come where he'd be getting called out. And so in order to keep his people with him, he implanted and embedded that into his listeners many years ago, so that when it did happen, they wouldn't believe it, thinking that it's just part of the plan, right? He's just infiltrating. But if they actually looked into what is being said and what is being portrayed, and actually infiltrated everywhere and kept an open mind, they would definitely start to see so many red flags that it's impossible not to acknowledge all those red flags and say that it's something, especially when someone like Holmseths is reporting and saying, hey, listen, guys, I'm just going to let you know that this is what's going on with this guy. And once you get to a certain part where Holmseths has said so much about one person, you definitely have to put your antennas up, okay? What they're doing, David Straight, General Flynn, I believe probably Lynn Wood, and even 107, what these guys are doing is they're running games on us, all of them. They're running psychological operations within the United States of America and probably even abroad. And we're the target. It's about deceiving us because they need to usher in the alien thing and the Jesus strand thing and all that, right? The reason why David Straight, in my opinion, the reason why David Straight was talking like nonsense to Randy and Holmseths is because they were hoping that Holmseths would print some of it and fall for it. They were trying to psyop Holmseths. They were trying to psyop Randy. That's what they do. That's what they do, right? This is what they do. They are not legitimate people. Everything that they do in their lives is a clown show psyop. Every single thing, because they're clowns, right? They're straight up fake people. Everything about them is bullshit. So naturally, they're running bullshit operations on people. And that's how they stay in power. Think of it like a giant false flag, right? Look at the false flags. Look at the deception for the public. Look at the mainstream media. Look at the mainstream media fooling all of our friends and family that are still walking around, driving around in their car with their mask on. Those are psychological operations. And it's no different for us than it is for them. We're like normies too, in a way, because we don't understand the complexity of the psychological operations that are being run on us to deceive us. These researchers and truth seekers and warriors fighting for the truth and seeking the truth. We are the target. Jesus Christ loving patriot Christians are the target, because we're not going to buy their bullshit. We're not going to buy the Jesus strand. We're not going to buy the alien shit. They know that we're not going to buy it, but they have to try their very best to deceive all of us, because they need to pull off their operation. They need to pull off their false flag. They need to pull off their psychological operation on the public. And Holmseths is trying to give us tidbits and tidbits and tidbits about how this massive, gigantic, enormous operation and picture looks like, because it's gigantic and it has a lot of players and it's complicated. So the psychological operations are much more complicated than that, because they also add a spiritual warfare element to them, because the spiritual realm is 3 times more active, or much more active at least, than the earthly realm. And they're all using sorcery. And they're also using technology. So they will reinforce by programming what the operatives that are circling around a victim, they will use even their own technology to reinforce the messaging and the program that they're trying to infuse into the target. I don't know anyone that wouldn't be able to be psyoped. Basically, they psyop everybody. I'm watching a whole bunch of survivors right now on Telegram. They're all being psyoped. They got lied to. They all got lied to. They were like, oh, we're going to get rid of Trump. We're going to build houses for you. We're going to take care of you survivors. Without us, you guys are screwed. You're dead. So you need to come with us. You need to do what we're telling you to do. You need to follow us. They're all being psyoped. That's not true. None of that's true, what they're saying. It's a psyop that they're in. And what they're doing within these psyops is they're taking survivors and people that are involved in being targeted in the psychological operations, and they're using those people against us, the truth seekers, the warriors, the researchers, the truth tellers. They're using other people, their people that they're handling and that they're targeting against us. That's what they're doing. And some people say things like, well, I don't believe that person can get played or manipulated. Well, there's a whole other element to it. There's something called blackmail. There's something. Do you guys understand that the people that are running these operations are a bunch of sadistic, psychopathic, assassin killers? These are very bad, sick people. And when they come knocking at your door and they tell you to flip on Holmseth, you will be flipping on Holmseth. Okay? Because they're that scary and they're that serious. So you guys have to wipe away everything that you believe could be possible and true, because you don't know the full picture of the situation, and you've probably never been in a psyop before, even though you're in a friggin' psyop at the moment. Because the psyop it's a matrix it's a storyline, it's a show and a movie that they paint and portray for other people and suck people into it, no different than the mainstream media. And that's why we are the news. We are the news because we need to use Jesus Christ and pray for discernment and beg God for discernment and beg God to show us and beg God to reveal to us the truth and the deception around us, or we will never, ever get out. You will never get out. I don't believe that you can get out without Jesus Christ. That's just my own personal opinion. So people are being threatened. Like, I'm watching people flip on people all day. I'm watching people flip on Kaylee like there's going out of style. But again, the whole situation with Kaylee is an unbelievable situation that I am going to roll out. I mean, it's a pretty shocking situation. And it really, to be honest with you, I'm still scratching my head right now today. These people play games. That's all they do all day, every day. Sit around thinking, okay, what scam we going to run next? What game? They're called game callers, shot callers, game callers. They're calling the shots. They're calling the game. There's somebody sitting at the top going, okay, we need to do this to this person. This. They are using us against each other, right? They are playing all of us against each other. They are using human against human being. Okay, so all of you people that want to sit back and say, oh yeah, infiltrated attacks other people, you know what? Go fuck yourself, okay? I'm sorry, but go fuck yourself, okay? You don't know what I'm doing, all right? I care more about people than anyone can even imagine. And all I'm trying to do is get to the truth, say the truth, tell the truth, publish the truth, support people that are publishing and telling the truth, like Holmseths, like the Pentagon Pedophile Task Force, support people like Trump and Melania, who I know are helping with human trafficking on a grand scale forever and ever. And people like Randy Erickson, people who have given up their lives to deliver this information to us. People like Jesse. You want to go after Jesse and you want to attack Jesse? You guys need to give your head a scratch, okay? Because you need to look at people's fruit. You need to understand what this woman is doing for us, and that is delivering us the truth, and it's not an easy thing to deliver. Who is on the affidavits into court against Hillary Clinton? Who is calling out George W. Bush? Who ever told us that George Bush is eating 1,000 kids per month and ate a child while the child was alive, ate the child's brains in front of other people? Who is telling us that information? Nobody. Nobody. So even this thing with Madison Marquette and all of these other survivors and stuff like that, we don't know what the truth is, guys. We don't know who's being blackmailed. Being blackmailed, I'm sure, is not a lot of fun, right? What would you do if somebody came to your door and said, hey, and they muscled their way into your house and said, yeah, we're going to rape and skin alive your kid if you don't go on social media and do X, Y, and Z. We don't know the circumstances. So while we should and could hold people's feet to the fire, maybe we need to have a wider perspective on why somebody might be behaving the way that they're behaving. You know? I'll call people out like the best of them. But at the end of the day, I want the truth. Okay? I want the truth. You know? And I'm not attacking anybody. I am not attacking anybody. I am exposing everybody, okay? I've been sitting back watching this deception for such a long time. It's sickening. I've been watching it since Twitter. I've been watching it for 4 or 5 years. And this Telegram stuff is 1,000 times worse than Twitter ever was, because people can do lives and all kind of stuff. It's a little bit different than Twitter. It's even more disgusting than Twitter ever was. So to sit back and watch it all, when I know this guy's fake, that guy's fake, this guy's that guy, it's very difficult to sit back and watch so many people being deceived. So I'm not going to do it. I will expose. Sorry if my delivery isn't very good, but I've got people who have targeted me and done terrible, horrible things to me over and over and over and over and over, all for one simple fact that I like and love the truth, and that I love and like Jesus Christ, and I want the truth to come out, and I want people to know the truth. And I want people to use their discernment and use their judgment rather than demand. I'm so sick of seeing people demand proof from Holmseths. You know, I'm sick of it, to be honest with you. If you can't look at the totality of the situation and then see the information that he's dropping and look at the bigger picture, like, I don't know what to say to you, right? It's terrible. It's really terrible. He's sacrificed enough, and so is his family, and so is everyone. Randy and her family, these people have sacrificed their whole lives, just thrown in the garbage on pause, and everything that they do around the clock 24/7 is to deliver the truth of you while being assailed upon, while being attacked, while being threatened, while their families are being harmed. Nobody owes any one of us a goddamn thing. They don't owe us anything. We owe them. We owe them everything. So that's it. That's all I'm going to say. And this thing where people are like straddling the fence, even that's pathetic. You can't straddle the fence, okay? And you can't look at what Holmseths is saying about these people and then say, well, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to appreciate everybody. You know, it means you're ignoring a whole bunch of information. It means you are blatantly ignoring the facts, And that's completely ignorant. So I'm just saying, it's just my perspective. Who am I? You don't like what I have to say? Don't listen. It's okay. You don't have to listen. I know where I'm going. I know what I'm doing. And I know who's going down. I know who's getting exposed. I could see all of it like a little roadmap. And this is not even nearly over. People are like, oh, finally, Holmseth ripped off the bandage. No, he's got like a whole bunch of bandages, right? He has a bunch of bandages, and I can't wait for them to come off. So this thing about psychological operations, okay? It can happen to any one of you. It is happening to many of you right now as we speak. You just don't know it because somebody's providing a matrix, a fake matrix for you. It's happening to everybody. This is what they do. This is what they do. And you don't know you're in it when you're in it. And some people never even get out of it. Some people never even get out of it. So it's up to each and every one of us to research, find the facts, report the truth to each other. When you see a LARP or you see a dirtbag trying to do harm or cause harm to somebody else on the battlefield, you pick them up by the arm and you help them along and you show them the way. You don't just leave them there to flail around by themselves in the deception. You do what you can in order to help expose the truth to them, even if it hurts them. Even if it hurts them. You try to help them along the way. That's all I would say. So keep fighting for the truth, guys, because it's not over yet. And it's the only way forward, no matter how much it hurts. God bless. Have a good day.